we have to talk about this. It's kind of old. It's kind of old news at this point, and I'm sure everyone out there has heard in exhaustion everyone else's, thoughts and opinions on this because everyone has one. But Robert Downey Jr., our boy RDJ. So RDJ is going to be back in the MCU. Not only back in the MCU, but he is going to be playing legendary villain Victor Von Doom. And it has, so before everyone freaks out in the comments, right as I said that, it has been confirmed that he will be playing Victor Von Doom of the Fantastic Four's universe. So not a variant of Tony Stark that becomes Doctor Doom. He is straight up Victor Von Doom. And so again, this is something that's very, very, I think you either love it or you absolutely fucking hate it. And I think there's very valid points on both sides of this matter. So again, Cap, I'm gonna throw it off to you. People are sick and tired of my damn voice. What are your thoughts on RDJ as Doom?
I don't like it. Honestly, I don't like it.
You're on the
It's
camp of you hate it.
Yeah, they built the first 10 years off Robert Downey Jr.'s back. I don't see the need to do the next 10 years off his back as well. He's like, I get it, he's their cash cow. He brings in the audience. But come on, man, there's far better. He's a fantastic actor. Maybe not far better actors, but there's far more suitable actors that could have played Doom. That I there's nothing about it I like other than the fact he's a good actor.
I have to echo you, man. I totally agree. I feel I'm firmly in the middle of how I feel about this, but I like lean more towards I don't like it. Like I on its
Yeah,
face, I don't like it. But after sitting with it, mulling it over, there are some aspects that I don't want to say I like, but that I understand. And those being, we love the MCU, we love Marvel, but we all cannot deny that, some of their latest movies have not done as well as their previous. And we can all agree on that, whether you love or hate it. But I will also say that a lot of the hate that you do see is a lot of it is unfounded. A lot of people want to talk about the MCU's in trouble. The MCU is like, scrambling. A lot of that is bullshit and a lot of that is people just, MCU bad. But
yeah,
again, there have been some, unfortunately, which again I think a lot of that comes from just bullshit, bigoted kind of reasons, but hasn't been a hit. And another big part of this, which again I think that has more to do with this than it does of the movies not doing as well. But Jonathan Majors really fucked up the whole fucking machine because the whole multiverse saga was built on Kang, and it was built on
yeah,
leading up to Kang and then Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, which was gonna heavily, again, it was Kang's world, baby. We were just living in it. So with the loss of him and them having to shift everything from Kang, like they needed something, right? And
yeah,
I can understand why not. We need something, we need to pivot. So why not bring back our greatest asset, our a sure thing? Because like you said, no matter how you feel about it, Robert Downey, he'll bring asses and seats, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
not only that, but on top of that, you're bringing back the Russo brothers, which I don't understand why people are that I think is unequivocally awesome. I don't understand why people are upset about that. Russo brothers have unbiasedly, again, we're MCU fanboys. We love everything. But I think unbiasedly you can say like the Russo brothers have produced the best MCU movies that we have. Winter Soldier, Civil War,
Wow, took
Infinity
words out of my
War,
mouth.
Endgame, right? Like it's like that's unequivocally those are the best movies of the MCU. So I think that helps. my feelings about it a little bit
Yeah.
more. I trust the Russos. And also on top of that, something I think a lot of people don't know or realize, we also have Stephen McFeely that writing the movie, which if you're not aware, Stephen McFeely and his partner Marcus, which I don't think is involved in this, I don't know why, but they wrote they wrote all those movies. So the Russos directed it. Steve Marcus and McFeely, they wrote First Avenger, they wrote Winter Soldier, they wrote Civil War and Infinity War and Endgame. So again, having those I think is makes me feel better about this decision. But again, I can't it does feel like a little not desperate, but again, just like playing it safe. It feels
Yeah.
like they're playing it safe, which for me, what I always have loved about the MCU and what I love about Phase 4 is that they're not afraid to take risk. They're not afraid
Yeah.
to take a risk on a character and put them in the spotlight. Shang-Chi, Kamala Khan, uh Scarlet Witch, Agatha Harkness, right? Like while
Yeah.
some people may say, why do we need those? I love that. Again, it to me, it's them taking a risk and showing us why these characters are great. So that's kind of one of the reasons, again, I'm not a fan of it. It feels like a safe move, and I feel like Marvel has always been risk takers.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the safe move. It was obviously you have to pivot away from Kang at this moment, and who better than Doom, man? Like, there's no one better than Doom
Exactly.
to take over. But uh, I feel that if they had have picked a different actor, it might not have exploded as well. You know, Robert Downey Jr. is going to get them eyes on everything. Sure, they even have eyes on the comic at the minute. The Ultimates to see
I was
how
gonna say that if
Doom.
for everyone out there, we're talking about Robert Downey Jr. Doom. If you want to know how that is possible and how that is going to play out, you have to pick up issue number 4 of the Ultimates because it's going to explain everything. So if you are interested in how Tony Stark will be Doctor Doom in the movies, pick up issue 4 of the Ultimates. But sorry, Cap, go on about again Robert Downey.
Yeah, like he's got eyes everywhere. He's got eyes on the comics. He's got eyes on him and Marvel again. It's a good financial move for them. It's again, it's just not one I like. But
Yeah.
like you said before, it's not everyone likes everything.
And correct me if I will acknowledge and accept if I am in the minority on this one. But I also feel like, again, while I hate it for a lot of different reasons and I have problems with it for a lot of different reasons, and I want to say, too, namely, one of the biggest ones is not having a Romani actor playing Doctor Doom, who is Romani in the comics. I think that's a huge missed opportunity, which I have faith hopefully will be corrected. But it's hard not to be excited seeing Robert Downey Jr. coming back into the MCU, right? It's like while
Yeah,
like putting everything else aside, while I have a lot of problems, it is hard as a fan. It's hard not to get excited at that, right?
yeah. I, it's an internal battle with myself. I'm not excited because I don't like it, but at the same time, it's oh shit, man, it's Robert. He's back.
Yeah, then like again, that's why I say I'm in the middle because there's a lot of things I hate about it, but again, it's hard not to be excited about that. And I'll also say, and again, I am a Marvel fanboy. This is the shill. This could be the shill in me talking, but I still have faith in Marvel. I have faith in Kevin Feige. A lot of people I feel like again, a lot of their hate and comments come a little unwarranted, but I still think Feige has again, he has my full trust. He hasn't steered us wrong, I think, yet. And if if Feige has signed off on this, and like again, all of them, Robert Downey, the Russo brothers, who again I have a lot of faith in as well. if they all have agreed to this, like there must be something I'm not seeing, right? Like I don't see
Yeah,
the vision yet, but I have faith if they have all agreed to this and are, moving forward with this, it's because they have planned it out in such a way. And we just have to wait to see what that plan is. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like that doesn't mean like they can't make mistakes, but I can't imagine them being so blinded or going out of left field to not know that like we all want a Romani actor as Doctor Doom,
yeah.
right? Like I can't see them being that oblivious of not knowing that. So again, that gives me a lot of hope. And again, from my own fanboy perspective, like it's gonna happen. We just don't know how it's gonna happen yet, right? I have faith like
See,
we will
yeah.
get a Romani actor, we will get a new fresh face as Doctor Doom. I just don't know how they're gonna play it.
See, that's the thing. I think we were saying earlier, no theories because we'll go off on a wild one. We could be here all night.
We have
Night
to
for
do
me, day for
one.
you.
We have to do at least one theory. We'll limit ourselves one theory each. How do you think that they could roll this out? And not necessarily how you think, but like what would be satisfying for you? Like if like what would make you a fan of this?
Right. So I think obviously we still have the whole Kang carry on. We still have like aspects of what would have been Kang Dynasty. We still have that timey-wimey carry on. Okay. So what if Robert Downey Jr.'s Von Doom is just a part, like a cog in the machine, and the real Victor Von Doom is cleaning up Kang's mess, just clearing fucking shop.
I like that.
Because it would be a good way to distract us from the actual actor doing it, and it would be a genuine massive surprise. It would be a holy shit moment.
And I think also too something that people need to remember. This is a point that I've harped on a lot, both on Twitter, our other show, Comic Corner, here on our show. But I'll relate this back to Jonathan Majors and Kang. It has been for again something I think a lot of people forget. It's been established in the MCU that variants do not have to look like each other. Like yes,
Yeah,
a lot of them do. So like Loki, a lot of Lokis look like each other. Doctor Strange, most of all the Stranges that we've seen are Benedict Cumberbatch. But they do not have to look like each other. Example, Spider-Man No Way Home. We have three different Peter Parkers, all different actors. We have again Loki. We have a girl Loki, Sylvie, and she is still Loki, but again, she does not look like Tom Hiddleston. She's not Tom Hiddleston, right? So, and I've said this with Kang in the sense of everyone was like, all up in arms of like, oh, we need to recast. How are they going to make sense of that? Because we saw all those Kangs, right? That were all Jonathan Majors. It's like the explanation really can be as simple as, well, yeah, those Kangs look like Jonathan Majors, but this one doesn't, and I think
yeah,
the
yeah,
same can apply here with Robert Downey of yes, he is Victor Von Doom. He's not a variant of Tony Stark. But again, it's a multiverse, baby. There's infinite number of Dooms. Not all of them look the same. So easily
yeah. Like
Doom from another a variant of Doom from whether it's 616 uh, or another universe, he can look absolutely completely different from Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom and still be Victor Von Doom, not like some bullshit, oh, this is another character as Doom, like still Victor, friends with Reed, all that stuff.
yeah, like take Wolverine from the Deadpool film, for example. Look at how many variants there was of him, and not every one of them was Hugh Jackman.
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean. We had freaking Calverine, dude. So
Yeah,
again, it's like
exactly.
they don't I think a lot of people, which is totally understandable. I think this applies to a lot of different franchises, but the whole idea of the multiverse has gotten convoluted. The idea of variants, I think, especially for people who aren't comic readers, kind of, it's like a lot to take in. So
Yeah.
again, I think it really can be just as simple as, oh, this variant doesn't look like him.
I really like how they're starting to cater comic book movies to comic book fans rather than the general audience.
Mm-hmm. But I also think that that too could be some of the reason of some of the backlash. You know what I mean? Like people not really understanding. And I don't
Yeah,
want to
like the
say,
whole variant.
yeah. And again, like, I don't want to say not understanding comics. It's like, oh, you don't get comics, bro. But it's like, again, these are like concepts like we're just more familiar with. Like we are used
Yeah,
to
yeah,
reading things where it's like, oh yeah, this is another Captain America. Okay, whatever, roll with it, right? I think a lot of
yeah,
like if you read comics, I think everyone will understand this. It's like most of comic reading is like, bro, you just roll with it. Like you pick up an
yeah,
issue and the Fantastic Four are dinosaurs. It's like, okay, I don't know how that happened, but let's do it. It's like just go with the
yeah,
story, right? You have fun. And I think a lot of general audiences just aren't really used to that and are, need an explanation for everything, which don't get me wrong, I love a good explanation, but sometimes you just gotta have fun. Super people fighting shit, fighting bad guys, good time, right? But I have to throw out my theory because I cooked this up the other
absolutely.
day and I really love it, which I will say too at the top of this, there is one big plot hole to this theory that I don't have an answer for. But anyone in the comments, if you have a way that we can make this work, please let me know because I've been thinking it over. But so my theory, what I think would be cool, and I think I could get behind this whole thing a lot more, is I think it would be really cool if he was a Doom bot of
Oh
one of the
shit.
Doom bots. Yes. So here,
I like that.
so how this goes is so the real Doctor Doom, the real Victor Von Doom, made a bunch of Doom bots, and Tony or not Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. is a Doombot, but we don't know that. And we go into Fantastic Four. He's Victor Von Doom. We go through Secret Wars. He's the big bad. He's like destroys all this crazy stuff, destroys the multiverse, all the crazy stuff you expect Doom to do. And then at the end, when the Avengers finally, beat him, overcome him, he's a fucking robot. He's a fucking robot. And then the real Doom comes out and he's basically like, yo, like that was my robot. And now I know all of your strengths. I know all of your weaknesses. I know how you fight. I have all this information on you. So fuck y'all. Like
Yeah,
like
suck
just know that
eggs.
I'm here. And then we have Doom as just this kind of constant looming threat that is always in the MCU. And like we know, again, he knows everything about our heroes, how they fight, their weaknesses, their strengths, and we can just use Doom whenever we need him, whether that be as a villain, whether that be as a hero. Because a lot, in the comics, Doom plays that line very well
Yep.
and very often of like he's sometimes a hero, sometimes he's a villain. So again, just establish like I think that that would just establish him as such a big threat of the like we had 3 movies of the Avengers fight trying to beat this guy and the whole time it was just one of his robots. And like what is the real Doom can do, right? So I think
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool. I think that would be a cool way to twist everyone's expectations and just really have like something really shocking. Again, like 3 movies in, and then holy shit, he's a robot. I think that would be crazy. And again, that opens up the door for the actual Doom, who has been Doom this whole time. Again, Romani actor, someone who fits the bill of what we're looking for, have include, make sure everyone's represented properly. So that's my theory. I've been reading the most recent Ryan North Fantastic Four run, which is absolutely phenomenal. But one of the issues deals with there's like a whole town of Doombots, and they can make themselves look like people, like with like hologram type crap. So
Oh,
that's what gave me the idea. I'm like, yo, what if he's just a fucking robot with like this, Tony Stark face? And also you can kind of explain that too, like the real Doom, again, because we know Doom's always a step ahead, right? So the real
yeah.
Doom knows about 616 Tony Stark. So he purposely gives his Doombot the face of Tony Stark because he knows how it will affect our heroes of 616. And like it will be hard for them, again, going back to he's testing them. He wants to know their weaknesses, their strengths. How do they respond to seeing one of their friends turn evil, right? So I really, that's my theory. But the plot hole of all of this, that again I will acknowledge is a big kind of hole of this, is that the Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four universe, whatever universe that is, he should know what Victor Von Doom looks like. I mean, if we're going with the classic story of how, Reed and Doom, or Reed and Victor were rivals slash friends in college, and like that's why Reed has, or Doom has, this kind of deep hatred of Reed. Like he thinks he's better, like he wants to prove that he's better than him. So we would have to kind of get around. I think that there's a way to explain that. I just don't know it yet. But again, I do acknowledge like that's kind of one of the holes in this theory. Like if Doom made a Doom bot, why would the Fantastic Four not know that it's a Doom bot, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess the only way you could do it is not to have the classic Doom Richards school carry on.
Yeah, you'd have
But
to
then that
change their
takes,
relationship a little bit.
yeah, that does it does take a lot away from.
That's what I'm saying. That would, like you said, that would also kind of take away from their relationship that, is so structural to like everything in the Fantastic Four. So again, I do acknowledge
Oh,
like that's a hole, but did you crack
what
it?
if uh, possibly? What if so Secret Wars is blah 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 tying worlds together, incursions, carry on.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so Fantastic Four is on another world. Doom is originally on that world, but he's bouncing between, and that's how 616 heroes, or me and MCU, don't understand or don't know that Tony Stark is, or Robert Downey Jr. is a Doombot, because
Mm-hmm.
they don't know, they don't have a Doom there. Whereas the main Doom is just, he's Doom for the universe,
So you're so you're
It's
kind of
kind of like a
saying,
null.
yeah, so you're kind of saying like the Fantastic Four would be aware that he's a Doombot.
Yeah, they would be. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. See, I mean that definitely could work, but I feel like again the main thing for me for this theory is the reveal of him being a robot. I feel like that needs to be like a,
yeah.
again, like we only learn that after he's defeated, right? Like I think if we know he's a robot going into Secret Wars, it takes away from it,
It takes,
right?
yeah, yeah, it takes a
So
lot away.
again, I don't know how to connect those dots. Again, please, if you're listening to this, in the comments, if you have an idea of how we can make that connection, I think we got a pretty damn good theory on our hands.
Yeah, even if put it in the comments, even tag us on Twitter. If you want to make a whole video and tag us about it, feel free.
Yes, please. The perfect plug, Cap. Please tag us on Twitter. You can find our Sons of Mjolnir page. We have our own page, but you can also find our separate Twitters. You can find me at _Fat Thor. You can find Cap at Caps Comics. You can find Gorgon at the latest Gorgon is there at currently. So you can tag all of us. Let us know your theories. We love talking to you guys. We love to theorize. For all of you out there, thank you so much for watching and listening. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving us a like and subscribe. It really helps us out. And also head on over to bcwsupplies.com and use code Sons of Mjolnir, and that will get you 10% off all your bags, boards, anything you need to collect. We have you covered, because remember, if you collect, you must protect. So again, that code is Sons of Mjolnir, MJOLNIR. go get yourself a good discount, go protect your books, and I hope you have a fantastic week. I hope you stay hydrated. I hope your stacks are fat, and we will see y'all next time.